My name is Edwige Simon, and I'm the director of this program. I created this program 4 years ago, and I was working in a different capacity at the time. But this program is about 4 years old. And just very briefly, the way it came about is that I was working with K through 12 teachers. Well, no, I was working with higher education language teachers, and I was doing a lot of professional development focused on language teaching with technology. And so I was giving workshops and presentations in small institutes, and that I decided to extend these opportunities to K through 12 teachers and or any teachers outside of CU Boulder, and I did Saturday events and Saturday workshops. And then from there, I decided that I wanted even more people to have access to this training and these professional development experiences. And so that turned into a certificate program. And so 4 years ago, I launched a program, and we started offering our first courses. And we have a curriculum for the certificate of, I think we have 21 credits total. So what's a certificate? A certificate is, it's also called sometimes a professional certificate, and it's not really a master's. Before I can tell you what it is, I think it's easier to understand what it's not. And I like to look at it as a type of credentials or a specialization. So this certificate is a really good fit for teachers who want to have a deeper understanding of technology integration in the classroom, for teachers who feel like they're a little bit out of the loop, maybe they haven't taught for a little bit, and they feel a little bit overwhelmed by what's out there. It's also a good program for teachers who are interested in taking on different roles in their schools, and maybe being a part of the discussions that are going on, people who want to be involved in technology decisions. So the certificate is a good fit for a lot of people. I would say if you are a language educator, you will find something interesting in the certificate, something interesting and something relevant to your professional goals. Going on to the certificate itself, it is offered through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of Colorado Boulder. It's 12 graduate credits. These are not professional development type of credits. These are true graduate credits. You could transfer those credits towards a master's if you wanted to. I get a lot of questions about this, and if you decide to take certificate courses and then transfer them towards a master's program later on, we have no say in this process. It's the receiving institution that decides whether they will take on those credits. However, these are regular credits. And so if you are applying for a master's program and it's in the field of language education and they have a credit transfer policy, there shouldn't be any reason why you could not transfer those credits. The program is fully online, and it has a strong language teaching with technology focus, but it also has a very strong pedagogy focus. So for example, we have an entire course dedicated to second language acquisition. It is for world language educators, and we have students in the US, and we've had students a little bit everywhere in Germany and Japan and several other countries and parts of the world. The cost is $495 per credit hour. And so in this fall, we'll have 3 courses, a 1 credit hour course and 2 2-credit hour courses. This is a link to the financial aid office. At this point, we don't have any scholarships. This might change in the future, but at this point, we don't have any. All right, so so this is our curriculum right now, and you can see generally these are the courses that we offer summer, spring, and fall. And so in the summer we offer 4 courses, and so right now the second language acquisition course just ended, and then these 3 courses will end within the next 2 weeks. And then in the fall, generally, we offer the Tools in Practice course and the Teaching Languages online course and the Telecollaboration Exchange. And I'll tell you more about those 3 courses in a moment. When you have a little R next to a course, it means that you can repeat it. And in green, you have the required courses. So one thing I want to clarify, this course here, we have two versions of this course. We have a fall version and a spring version. And if you want to get the certificate, you need to complete one of the two. A lot of the students actually decide to complete both, but the two required courses are 50/20 offered in the summer, and one version of 50/30, either fall or spring. One thing that I haven't said, I talk about the certificate as a whole because I think it's a great curriculum. It's really comprehensive and it covers so many different topics. However, some students just come in and take one course, especially this course, the telecollaboration course that I will describe here in a moment. Or some students just want to take, for example, one version of the tools in practice because they want to get an overview of what's going on in technology integration in the world language classroom. So you don't have to do the entire certificate, and you also don't have to apply. You can take one course and stop there, or you can take 3 or 4 courses. At that point, it's up to you to decide whether you want to take an additional course or 2 and complete the certificate. When you're done, you do get a certificate, it looks like a degree from the registrar's office. Once you get started though, you have up to 3 years to complete the program, and that's because the field changes very quickly. We've had students complete the certificate in 1 year. It's a little challenging because it means you have to take all the courses, and these are at times demanding courses, especially when you're teaching, but it can be done. But I think 2 years or 18 months is a reasonable estimate. If you have any questions, just ask them in the group chat and I'll be happy to answer them. So here's a sample week before I get into some sample assignments, or maybe before I get into a sample week, I should just jump into the website and tell you about the fall courses. Could somebody let me know in the chat room and confirm that you can still see my screen and the fall courses, that the fall courses are appearing? That would be great. Merci, Alondra. Thank you. So these are our fall courses. So this fall, we're offering 3 courses, and I'm teaching all of them. And so the first course that will start is an 8-week course, and it will start September 15th. So registration for all the courses closes on the Wednesday before the course starts, and that is because if you're a new student, it will take a couple days for you to get through the registration steps, and I want to make sure that you have access to the course shell by the time it starts. So September 15th, we start with the Teaching Languages online course. This is one of my favorite courses because I've been refining it for several years now, and I think we have a really good course that provides you with the important theory behind teaching languages online. And we don't shy away from the difficult questions. We do spend a lot of time discussing synchronous oral proficiency, which really is the one sticking point. How do you do that? And so we do spend quite some time on this topic, but it's also a course where you do a lot of hands-on activities. They are guided, they are tutorials, but this is really a course where you will learn about the theory and you will also learn about the practice. The way the course is organized is that at the very beginning, you are going to pick a unit that you teach, something that you usually cover over the course of a week, maybe, depending on your schedule. And you're going to transform this unit from a face-to-face unit to a fully online unit. Some students sometimes, because they're not teaching online and they're not planning to, but they're teaching in a blended environment, sometimes they tweak the assignment and they turn it into creating a blended or hybrid unit, which is fine. What you will learn if you decide to take courses with us is that there's a lot of flexibility in the courses and in the assignments. And if I assign something that you don't think is going to be useful for you, you can always email me and say, well, I would like to do this a little bit differently. And the answer is it's always been yes in the past. So in this course, on the first week, you pick a unit and you really build an online unit, and it's really scaffolded over the course of 8 weeks, and you get a ton of feedback, not just from me, but also from your classmates. And so that's the Teaching Languages online course, and it's a really good course. At the end of this course, you should really feel equipped to take on potential projects such as building online versions of your courses at your school, and have a really good understanding of what it takes. So that's 50, 30, 50-35. And then the next course is Telecollaboration Exchange, and the Telecollaboration Exchange course starts September 22nd, so 1 week after this one. And this is a 1 credit hour course. If you look at it says 6 weeks. It's not really 6 weeks because the first course is an orientation week. And we need that week because in this course, you're paired with a language partner, a native speaker of the language that you teach. And you will meet with this person twice a week for 5 weeks. But we need this first week. I need this first week to find out about what you teach. I actually start emailing people as they sign up to find out what they teach, in case, especially in case you teach a less communicated language. I need time to find your language partner. But then you will meet with this person for 5 weeks. So the first week is an orientation week, and then twice a week you meet online with your language partner. The sessions are recorded, and then you have to watch the sessions and write a reflection. And then you read the reflections that other people in the classroom write. And every week we also discuss short readings. We discuss things like the challenges of maintaining proficiency. Sometimes we listen to a podcast. We discuss foreign language anxiety. We discuss different types of telecollaboration models, and whether you've done this kind of exchanges with your own students, whether you would feel comfortable doing those exchanges. So that's the Canvas course. Let's see. The next course that we teach is the Tools in Practice course. And in the Tools in Practice course, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm seeing questions in the chat. Jennifer asked, and I think it's an excellent question. Jennifer asked, do your classmates see your exchanges? And the answer is no. Depending on the platform we use, your exchanges will be either video recorded or audio recorded. And you are the only person who will have access to this recording. My background is French, so I'm not going to check or to watch your recording with your language partner. You're the only person who will have access to this recording. So no, your classmates cannot see it. And really, you're the only person who will go back and watch this recording and write your reflection. What your classmates will see, your classmates will read your reflections. And the reflections are things like, first of all, how did it go? And did you have any technical problems? And that's a way for me to check that you were able to have your session with your language partner. And then I'm asking you to tell me whether you were able to meet the goals you had set for yourself, because before each new week, you set some goals for yourselves. And in the course, you see some sample goals from previous students. Sometimes it's grammar-based, sometimes it's culture, sometimes it's fluency, comfort, pausing less, sounding more like a native speaker. All the students have different goals. And so in your reflection, you discuss whether you were able to meet those goals. And then at the end of the reflection, I ask you to tell me what you noticed when you watched the video or when you listened to the audio recording. And so that's essentially what you do. Is there, so another question from Jennifer, is there an online meeting of the classmates? So no, all the certificate courses are asynchronous. What that means is that there are no required live face-to-face meetings as a class. In the telecollaboration course, what happens is that at the beginning of the course, I give you the information of your language partner, and then you contact your language partner. And I have a whole system organized with a Google spreadsheet, but basically you tell your language partner, hi, my name is Jennifer, and here are the times of the week where I'm available to do those 2 30-minute meetings. And then you kind of go back and forth, sometimes a little bit, and then you decide on the times where you're going to meet with your language partner. But there are no, especially for 50-45, there are no required live sessions. Now, for the other courses, 50-35 or even 50-30, I do offer, not every week, but I do offer I would say 4 to 6 times during the course, the option to skip the discussion board assignments and participate in a small live discussion with 3 or 4 classmates and myself. And these are not required, but they're really interesting. We had one this morning actually with Alandra and Donna. Unfortunately, I got there a little bit late today. But these are a nice break from the discussion board discussions. And like I said, they are not required. And the way they're organized is that at the beginning of the week, I send a doodle and I say, hey, these are the times where I'm available to do the live session. If you want to participate, let me know when you're available. And then I choose the most popular time. And then the following week, I do the same thing, but I don't necessarily choose the most popular time. I try to make sure that whoever did not have a chance to participate the week before has a chance to participate. So it's a little bit of a juggling act, but the certificate courses cap at 20 students. So these are pretty small. And so we have a little bit of flexibility. We can do those things. So moving on to the Tools in Practice course, this is a 2-credit-hour course. And it starts October 20th and goes all the way to mid-December. And this has been in the past our most popular course because we go over 8 themes. We go over digital storytelling. We go over teaching with authentic resources. We go over flipped learning, teaching culture, and different models and technologies available to help students develop intercultural competence. And so these are really interesting themes. And the way this works is that every week you have, actually I can show you the structure of a sample week. All right, so it doesn't matter, this is from the gaming course, but this is a weekly module. Each week we'll start with a unit overview and some objectives. And then you will have some readings, and here it says gameplay, but in the Tools in Practice course, it would be more readings and some tools to explore. So sometimes you explore on your own. Sometimes you have a 3 to 4 minute tutorial that I create for you where I show you how a given tool works. And then we have a discussion. The way the discussion works in each course is that, so the week starts on, it opens on Saturday, and you have some readings to do. And by Wednesday, you have to post some initial answers. Usually you answer 2 questions by Wednesday. And then you have until Saturday to reply to at least 2 classmates. There's usually a little bit more going on because you engage in conversations and you go back and forth. But you have between Wednesday and Saturday to reply to your classmates. And then usually by the Saturday, you have a step of your final project that is due and maybe a small deliverable. So that's a simple week. All the courses are actually organized like this, exactly like this. A week starts on Saturday and it goes until the following, a new week starts on Sunday and goes until the following Saturday. Generally, by week 2 or 3 of a course, the entire course is open. And so you can work ahead a little bit. The only thing that you cannot really work ahead on is really the discussion, because they happen every week between Wednesday and Saturday. And so you need to jump onto the discussion board at least once a day on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to see what's going on. I'm very active on the discussion board. I read everything you write. I monitor what's going on. I jump in. I participate. It's definitely a very active part of the course. So that was the Tools in Practice course, 8 weeks as well, and it ends mid-December. I'm going to go to this slide where you can see some sample assignments. And so for discussion questions, these are sample discussion questions that you can really expect to see in any course. First of all, I always have a question where I ask you to react to an aspect of the readings that caught your attention. And that's because sometimes you read the readings and you see something that you really want to talk about, but if I didn't ask a question about it, it's a little bit difficult. And then another type of question that you will see on the discussion board would be share strategies that you have used to differentiate instruction for your students. That's actually a question from this week. This week in the foundation course, we discussed differentiation, universal design, and ADA compliance. And so I'm asking the students, you've done a lot of readings this week. What do you do? Have you had students with different types of impairments or learning differences in your course? Was it a challenge? How did you address this challenge? This is a question from 5045, the telecollaboration course. Have you experienced any form of foreign language anxiety in the past, and in what context? And this is a personal question, but it's actually one of the best discussion that we have in this course. It's a time where we can all freely talk about the challenges of maintaining proficiency when we're not native speakers. And so it's a really good and honest discussion where we all share strategies about, overcoming this challenge, and where we can share past experiences. This is a question from the gaming course. Do you use game and gaming strategies in your classes? Are they a good fit for all students in your experience? My point in sharing with you the discussion questions is this. First of all, the questions that I ask in those courses are not questions to check that you've done the readings. You're all taking those courses because you want to. My goal is to give you a chance to connect the readings to your experiences, to your strategies, and for you to have a chance to share with others. So these are not discussion questions where I'm going to ask you, on this page, the author says something about proficiency, what is it? And also the goal of those discussions is for you to also learn from your classmates who have a ton of experiences and a ton of resources and a ton of strategies that they will share with you through the course. And then in terms of the assignments, the telecollaboration course does not have a sample project, but all the other courses, not sample project, capstone project, but all the other courses do. The teaching languages online, you have that online unit that you're building over the course of 8 weeks. In 50/30, you actually, I'm going to go back to 50/30. In 50/30, you actually go and you build a small language technology integration project. And I just went to the showcase page on the website, and you can see some of our students' past projects. We actually have Alandra who is attending the presentation right now, and she's taken a few certificate courses. And this is her 50/30 project that she did with another student. And they decided to do the project together because Margot was in Germany and not teaching at the time. So you can actually watch the recordings of their webinars and see their slides and see for yourself what the projects are. But my point is, a lot of the capstone projects are really hands-on projects, and if you come up with interesting and well-rounded projects and you want to share them further, you have the option of giving webinars. I also encourage you to go present at a conference, a local conference. I've helped students write their abstract before. I also encourage students to publish small articles on what they on the projects that they've done. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the magazine that I run as kind of a side project, but it's a publication venue. So kind of circling back to the question that we started with the webinar, whether or not the certificate is going to enhance your professional life very much depends on how much time and effort you put into all the courses. If you put a lot of time and effort into creating, for example, a good project for 50/30, you will teach your webinar. To give you an idea of attendance, I think the word got out over the year in this webinar here on virtual reality, granted that it's a popular topic, but Heidi had 500 people register for her webinar. So it does give you exposure, and this is really one of the ways that you can enhance your professional life and your career, getting people to notice the work that you do by sharing this work with others, by writing, by publishing. Heidi has also published in the magazine, actually, an article based on her technology project. So these are all options that are not required, but you're welcome to seize them. And if you're interested, I work with you individually and I support you as much as I can and provide as much guidance as I can. So it's not just about checking a box and taking a course, but really taking what you learn in a course and putting it out there and taking the next step professionally. We talk about creating a strong personal learning network. We talk about connecting with others. In some courses, I actually send you out there to interview people who do interesting work with regards to technology integration in language classroom. So this program is really anchored in your professional life. It's online because you are all teaching and you're all busy, but it's also about helping you create connections with the other language educators out there. Just one more word about the technologies that we use in the certificate. Especially for the telecollaboration course, you will need to have access to a laptop or a desktop. If you only have access to a Chromebook and you still want to take the course, you need to be aware that you'll need to use a different system to record your conversations, because we use Zoom as a as a video conferencing tool, and unfortunately we don't have the ability to record your Zoom sessions if you're on a Chromebook. But any regular desktop laptop with a webcam and a strong internet connection is what you need. You need to have, you know, about, I don't know, 8 hours of free time every week if you're taking a 2 or 3 credit hour course. For the telecollaboration course, it's less than that. It's maybe 3 or 4 hours per week over the course of 7 days, and really on your own time. The course management system that we use is Canvas. And so if you decide, for example, to sign up for, I don't know, LGTC 5030, you will see this when you log in, although it will not say emerging, because the fall version is just a regular version. So that's the tool that we use. All right, I think I went through all my slides, not in the order in which I had intended to, but this is what I have for this presentation. We have a couple certificate students. You're welcome. I'm going to type in the chat that Donna and Alandra are certificate students. Oops, sorry, I replied to a person privately about a separate question. I will get to your question in a moment. I want to text everyone. So you guys are welcome. Yes, Jennifer. It should be. Let me think about that for a moment. So Donna and Alandra are in the presentation. You're welcome. I think you can send them a private chat and ask them questions about their experience in the course. Also, on this last slide that I will share with you when I email the recording, these are all past students who've taken courses with us. By the way, Heidi Trude, we're really proud because she's a finalist for the Language Teacher of the Year. So I'm really hoping that she wins. But these are all people that you can email and you can ask them questions about their experience in the program. To answer Jennifer's question, a Chromebook is sufficient for classes other than the telecollaboration? I want to say yes. Over the years, and I've taught hundreds of students in the certificate program by now, we've only had issues with the Chromebook. Now, even with the telecollaboration course, you should be okay as long as you're, for example, willing to use a phone to record your conversation. And then you can listen to your conversation and then you can delete it right away because it's going to take a lot of room on your phone. But yes, a Chromebook should be fine. And you know what? I want a Chromebook to be fine because if for many of you, this is the tool that you have in your classes. So not many. I've had all kinds of teachers. Actually, on a couple occasions, I've had non-language educators sign up for the courses, but they were doing work related to language learning. But I've had a few teachers who were both language teachers and ESL teachers. And actually, the last one, I don't have him on this list of students, but I can put you in touch with Nicholas Perez. And Nicholas Perez was an ESL teacher, and you know, when he completed the certificate, he actually decided to have a career change, and he's now an instructional designer at Denver University. But yes, I've had actually another one. His name is Mark Abelos, and so I can send you the name or 2 or 3 people who actually are ESL teachers and who have taken courses or completed the program, yes. The thing is, you know, we follow the ACTFL standards just generally, but if you follow different standards, you can always tweak this part of the assignments. Which spring course did you want to see, Elizabeth? In the spring, okay, these are the spring courses. So in the spring, I teach an advanced version of the Tools in Practice course. And in that course, we look at virtual reality, augmented reality. We talk about digital games, and we talk about Breakout EDU and a couple other ones. So it's more of an advanced version of 50/30. In the fall version of 50/30, we look at mainstream courses. Any other questions about the certificate or about the program? So Sabrina is asking how many courses total are needed for the certificate. It depends a little bit on which courses you take, because you need 12 credits. So if you take the 2 required courses are 5 credits, and then you can fill in the rest of the credits in whichever way you want. So, but I usually, so that's 5 credits. So you need 7 more credits. So you can take, 3 2-credit-hour courses and 1 1-credit-hour course. So that would be 4 additional courses. Or you could, it really depends. So if you look, like, for example, if you take the SLA course, it's 3 credits. So let's say that you take the SLA course, that's 3 credits, and then the digital game course, and then another 2-credit-hour course, and then you have your 7 credits. So it depends on a couple things. It depends on what you're interested in, and also depends on when you're available, because the only course that I repeat every spring is 50/45. The program is still, I would say, small. It's been growing steadily. Last summer, we had a total of 26 students take courses, and this summer we had 52. So it's growing, and at some point, if we have enough students to justify it, we might offer certain courses. So for example, we might offer the foundations course twice a year. But right now, each course is only offered once a year. And so Elizabeth says 50/45 seems to be a good course to begin with. And the answer is yes. And actually Donna started with 50/45. And it's a good way to start with a program, because all the courses are built on the same model. So once you've taken 50/45, it's a 6-week course. It's a shorter course. There are less assignments. You get a sense of how the certificate courses are organized. And then when you take a 2 or even a 3-credit-hour course, there's a sense of familiarity. So yes, 50/45 is a good spot. But I really built this program so that you can start at any time. The only course where I would not recommend you start if you're completely new to technology integration in the classroom is the advanced version of 50/30. Because those tools we look at, they're brand new, they don't always work really well, and so you need to have to be used to fighting with technology and be willing to do that, because these are emerging tools. But it's a really fun course, and if you're up for it, I've had complete beginners just take that course and have a really good experience. And Donna says 50/45 was a great first course for me, since she hadn't taken an online course before. Any other questions? All right, well, so no, Elizabeth, there are no other university costs involved. That's actually a good question. I provide all the materials because we don't follow books, so you don't have to buy books. And yes, convince admin. Yes, I know. And I can give you a couple pointers. You can show your admin the showcase page and show what previous students have done. You can also offer, and I wish more people would take advantage of this opportunity. If you are interested in this program because you want to grow professionally, maybe because you want to, I mean, after all, you want to get a specialization in language teaching with technology, the best thing you can do for your own sake is turn around and take what you've learned in this program and give some workshops or short presentation in your PLCs or in your department. I will follow up this webinar with an email about how to register. I have pretty detailed 2 things that have changed actually about the registration process. I've changed the instructions and I think they're pretty good this time. I actually went ahead and created an application for myself in the system to be able to see what you see. So the way the registration process works is pretty simple-ish. I will send you the link via email, but the first thing is to create an application, and that with the School of Continuing Ed, and that takes maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then you will receive your student ID number. You basically need to go through the steps and you become a CU Boulder student. And I know that seems like a lot if you only want to take 1 course, but the thing is, this is what this is. You are becoming a CU Boulder student with a student ID number, and that gives you access to all the resources that the university offers. And then when you're done with that, you can register for courses. And I've actually created a new page on my website that you can visit. It's also in the instructions where I explain to you what's next to really facilitate the onboarding process. So long story short, yes, I will send you very detailed instructions on how to sign up for the courses. Any more? Oh, yes. So a little text from Donna. The no costs involved. The only thing I'm going to change about that is that I think I'm going to, for the gaming course, there are a couple of tablet games that I think I'm going to ask students purchase, but we're really talking about $5 of investment per course, which, you know, when you look at other programs and when you look at the cost of some course materials, sometimes it's really, I think it's a benefit of the program. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. Elandra and Donna, thank you for showing up. I know I really asked you to come at the very last minute, so I really appreciate your presence. Everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your day.